Hi, I'm Charlotte Stevenson, a marketing communications student from Bournemouth University, and would like to talk to you today about the negative implications social media is having on us as a society. If this issue is not explored and corrected, the future of this generation and generations to come will be seriously affected as the exponential growth of digital platforms has become an addiction for people with a phone or a tablet at hand. The problem is, why are we all attached to a simple screen? Well, I find it's not the screen that we are attached to, it's the content in which it displays. The Instagram posts, the Facebook statuses, the Snapchats we receive, they all play a part in which we find ourselves constantly looking for approval and trying to live up to the fake reality that it presents. These social media platforms are making our lives look in a way which it isn't. We edit and facetune the reality to then post it on Instagram, where we constantly check for the approval of others, liking and commenting on a polished photograph that isn't real. However, the even bigger problem is that we can't stop for this seek for approval. We crave the buzz when someone likes our tweet or Facebook share. It is a vicious cycle of addiction where we rely on the others to make us feel good about ourselves, even if social media is a comparing tool where people grade themselves on the post of others. This leads to damaging effects of self-confidence and body image that people today are facing. Me being part of a wide group of people who enjoy using social media know that the reality is it isn't a benefit of mine or your well-being. Richard Dyer states that we turn to the media to fulfill the inadequacies we have in our lives. For example, when we're isolated, social media offers us community. When we're confused, we turn to Google, and when we're bored, we use YouTube for excitement. This instant gratification is something we've become reliant on, and is taking away real-life factors that relationships that are built face-to-face rather than using social media to substitute social interaction. Huffington Post encourages social media by saying yes, it can be used to manipulate and influence us, but it also allows us to connect with people all over and provides a space to share your opinions. They feel it should be encouraged as it makes us feel powerful and good about ourselves, but does this question that we're relying on the media for a constant sense of approval rather than voicing our opinions in a much more physical manner? Other people believe that social media has developed our future and is a massive benefit to us as a culture. But did we ask for social media or technology? This development has not only caused issues of mental health, but has made an entire generation dependent on something so unimportant. Simon Sinek mentions how engaging with social media releases a chemical called dopamine. This explains why receiving a text makes you feel good, but the chemical is also released when smoking, drinking or gambling. In other words, it's addictive. So my point is, teenagers have been exposed to an addictive legal chemical whilst trying to go through the stressful times of adolescence. As we've grown up with social media by our sides, friendships developed over phones are superficial as you haven't practiced physical social skills, only digital ones. The whole front of social media is actually making people less social. I believe that there needs to be more restrictions, otherwise what impacting factors will young adolescents start to have the more they pick up their phone? What happened to real connections and relationships you have with people? Relationships aren't built over text. You have to form a connection with that person, and social media only opens up a window to be someone who you're not. You can filter everything, forming a fake identity of your true self, which only emphasised with edited versions of your physical features posted on Instagram. These social media platforms are causing unreachable standards that people strive for, which only leads to the never-ending thoughts of wanting and needing to be someone better. If social media was never in the picture, people would never have anything to compare themselves or try and live up to. These platforms have only caused the destruction of who you really are and are building a community on fake people trying to be something that they're not. These social media platforms are more than amusement or entertainment because you're bored. They're creating a fake world for people that people think they're part of. Overall, the impact of social media I find not only to be negative but destructive. Having so many young teens with social media, they develop unrealistic aspirations and pressure earlier than they should. This is all due to the sham of social media that has put a kink in the system. Young teens have been cheated of the option to find what they're good at and what they like, as beauty influencers are always telling them what's on trend and how they should dress. The worrying nature of these platforms expanding and developing so quickly is a distressing issue for the future, and what is at stake if these platforms progress even further?